Bangladesh has seen months of anti-government protests that culminated in a huge rally in the capital Dhaka over the weekend. The main opposition party is demanding Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina step down so a caretaker government can take over and then organize free and fair elections. The ongoing economic crisis brought on by the coronavirus pandemic and the Ukraine war is further adding fuel to the protest fire.
Growing political tensions in Bangladesh spark massive protests on the streets of the capital Dhaka. The demonstrations are taking place after Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has intensified a crackdown against her opponents. The opposition Bangladesh Nationalist Party wants Hasina to step down and let a caretaker government hold a free and fair election. An election under the caretaker government and the resignation of Sheikh Hasina is all we want. Hasina and her ruling Awami League party, which returned to power in 2018 for the third consecutive time, have repeatedly ruled out the opposition's demands. They say a caretaker government goes against the spirit of the country's constitution. Bangladesh has been one of Asia's fastest growing economies, but an economic crisis in recent months has seen power cuts and fuel price hikes, and support for Hasina's authoritarian government has slipped. We've been forced to take to the streets. People can't afford food, and we won't go home until democracy is restored. A BNP official claimed that some 200,000 people joined a rally at the weekend, a figure the government says is exaggerated. Basically, I don't support any political party. I was unable to cast my vote in neither of the two previous national elections, not even in union or sub-district elections. I couldn't participate as a voter. We want to break free from the current situation in the country. I'm a victim of oppression, but I could not express this to anyone. I came here today to protest against those responsible for my current situation. As the crackdown widens, thousands of opposition activists have been arrested. Among those arrested is Shafiqur Rahman, emir of the country's largest Islamist party. Police have not specified on what specific charges he was detained, but they accuse the opposition of inciting violence. A vote is scheduled for next year, but the opposition accuses Hasina of rigging the past two general elections. They say a genuine election under Hasina is impossible.
And joining me now for more on this is DW Asia's Arafatul Islam. Arafatul, welcome. Before this latest rally, 15 embassies in Bangladesh issued a call for fair elections. Why?
They basically want an electoral process that should be free, fair, and inclusive. So the embassies, they have called upon government to ensure that the opposition parties can get a space to conduct their protest, their rally and peaceful assembly. So there have been a discussion in Bangladesh for years that there is a lacking of space for opposition parties. Freedom of expression is under danger, and also human rights situations are decreasing. So altogether, these embassies, we have seen that recently they are very active on talking on these issues, especially on electoral process.
Does that mean that the opposition Bangladesh Nationalist Party does have a point when it's protesting?
Yes, you see, I mean, at the moment in Bangladesh, there is this crisis, there is a power crisis that has been going on for months, and also this price of essential goods are increasing, so a dollar crisis is there. So altogether, there is some kind of dissatisfaction among Bangladeshi people, and also the opposition party, they are saying that the government needs to be changed to improve this situation, and many people, apart from these opposition activists, are taking part in these rallies.
So it is about price rises and not so much about the free and fair election? What is it about?
I mean, both are connected. There is this feeling that last two elections in Bangladesh are not free, fair or inclusive, because in 2014, the election was conducted under the ruling party and most of the opposition parties boycotted it. And then in 2018, there was another election and it was like very controversial, saying that the vote rigged in favor of the ruling party. So So even the police were accused of ballot stuffing in favor of the ruling party. So there is this thing that many people think that the government needs to change under a free and fair election to get a better situation in Bangladesh. They think that corruption is rising, so it has to be, I mean, the government has to be accountable for what is happening in the country.
But is there any truth to all these allegations? I mean, does this explain why Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has been able to hold on to power for so long?
I mean, we are seeing many indications like there is, as I said, this press freedom situation is declining. Also, human rights situation is declining. There are reports of like opposition activists have been killed in the name of crossfire. So, I mean, RAB has been doing it and they have denied their involvement. But there are reports suggesting that the oppositions are under kind of, I mean, in a where they are not able to express themselves freely. And also when we are talking about financial situation, we see different picture. Like IMF was there, they evaluated the foreign reserve of Bangladesh and they have calculated it, which was like $7 billion less than the government claimed. And then the government is saying, well, IMF is right and we have like, there is like shortage of things. So there is lack of information among people and they think that government is not showing the true picture of the country at the moment.
So what does this mean? Is one expecting more opposition rallies, more protests against the government in the coming months?
I mean, the next election is will take place either the end of next year or the beginning of 2024. So there is more protest is expected because the opposition parties, they want a free, fair and inclusive election. So do the foreign embassies. They are also saying the similar thing. But there is no indication from the government side of doing any kind of electoral reform at the moment to at least, I mean, create a kind of faith or trust on the election process, because there is this lack of trust very much. We can see it there from the opposition parties, from ordinary voters, and also from the foreign embassies.
What do the opposition parties want so that a free and fair election can take place?
Yeah, they want to reintroduce the caretaker government system. In Bangladesh, there was this system introduced in 1996. This system was like once a elected government finishes its 5-year term, there is another non-political or non-partisan caretaker government consisted by like civil society representatives take the duty of running the country for 3 months and conduct a free, fair and inclusive election. And this system worked well in Bangladesh in 2001 and then in 2006, it was started in 1996 and then 2001 and 2008. All 3 elections were seen as free, fair and inclusive by the domestic observers as well as international observers, and all 3 elections have been taken place under caretaker government system.
Right. We'll have to leave it there for the time being, but thanks so much for coming in and breaking that down for us. Arafatul Islam.
Thank you.